What is up, guys? Bearmaul here, and I am back finally with episode 7 of Bearmaul Plays Minecraft. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. At the time I'm filming this, it has been 10 days since I have uploaded an episode, and that totally sucks. I did not mean to go that long without doing anything. It's, what is the date today? Today is December 22nd, so things are pretty crazy, what with the whole holiday season coming up. So I've been pretty busy. Haven't had a whole lot of time to do this, but here I am. We are doing things. So speaking of things, I did a little thing over here. I realized at some point we don't really have a reliable way to get experience. So I rigged up this little contraption here. So as you can see, the lever's down, so we're getting drops, but I can flip it up. You can see that extends a piston, which means the mobs that fall from the lower floors in the mob spawner, they will just land on this thing and not die, and that way we can kill them and get their experience, and their drops come down, and we just hit that button. The drops go down into the hopper. But it doesn't work so great. I think only mobs that spawn on the bottom 2 floors don't take enough damage to die. And since there's 7 floors, most of the ones that fall down this tube just die. Oh, there's one now. So I'll show you guys how it works with the drops. Come up here and you smack him and he dies. And you see we get the experience, but we can't quite reach the drops, so you just hit that button. And they shoot down there and fall into the hopper, and everything works good. Put it back on drops mode for right now. So, there's some missing farmland. Anyways, there's a couple of things that I want to get done in this episode, and the first thing is I want to find a way to lock this front door. Since it's just activated by pressure plates and there's a hole in the middle, if I'm inside doing stuff and a monster happens to be outside, they will pathfind to me and just open the door. At least they close it behind them. But I want to find a way to lock this, so if I'm inside, I can just flip a lever and then be safe in my home. And I think I know how I will do it. I have an idea, at least. I'm not sure exactly if it'll work. I'm going to clear out some of this space in here and gather up some redstone supplies and check in with you in a second. Okay, so I think I got it figured out how it's going to go. It's going to be pretty simple, actually. So I want the lock to be right... Whoops, that's not a lever. Right there. So that'll be unlocked and then locked. So the mechanism itself shouldn't be too hard. What I'm going to do is put a sticky piston there and make sure that power doesn't interfere with anything. No, that is good. Okay. And then the way this is going to work is it's going to power on... Sorry, I'm thinking about this as I go kind of here. It's going to power on both of these pistons in our monostable circuit, so they're going to extend, so that way when one of the pressure plates gets stepped on, the signal doesn't have anywhere to go, and therefore does not open the door. So I think that should work. We'll just stick a redstone block onto that piston there, so when it extends it should power both of the pistons in the monostable circuits. Sounds like it worked. Did it work? Aha! It worked. Then we can unlock it, and now the door works like normal. Pretty sweet. So I'm going to patch up the floor, and then we will move on to the next project, which will be probably a lot more fun. So the next project is got a lot to do with TNT. I've been leaving the mob farm running overnight for a couple nights. Like I will, I'll leave it on, and then I'll go to bed, and then I'll wake up, and I'll go to work, and then I'll come home, and then see what I got. So we've got 5 whole stacks of gunpowder, which means we can make a full stack of TNT, if I can find the... There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've also got a couple extras. Oh, I already grabbed them. I really got to put these signs back up. I thought I had the chest memorized well enough to just go for it, but turns out I totally don't. So, I'm going to make as much TNT as I can. Dun, 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 dun. And then my plan is to use this to get some serious excavation done. Bum, bum. Oh man, that was terrible. Anyway, yeah, my plan is to use this to get some serious excavation done down here. At the bottom of the stairs. So this little 5x5 stone slab area is going to be the balcony, which is just going to overlook a huge cave area. Not a cave, but just a huge open area, and that's basically going to be like the hub of our base. So that's going to lead to the other rooms of the base and the other hallways that lead to other rooms of the base. I don't exactly have it planned out. I just have giant room on my checklist. So I think the best way for me to do this is I want to dig 4 tunnels like this, and I'm just going to dig them back a ways. We'll do one in that corner, and then we'll do it up at the top as well. And then I'll put TNT in them with 2 blocks of space in between. And then I will light them, and it'll be fun. Okay, 4 tunnels dug. They're 50-ish blocks long. I wasn't really counting, honestly. And then each one of them has the TNT placed in it with 2 blocks in between each one until I used up a full stack. So I'm going to go ahead and light these, and we'll see what happens. Oh no. Ow. Ow. That's a good sound. I like that sound. Haha. Ouch. Yeah, that did pretty well, actually. I hit a natural cave down here, so that kind of helps with the whole excavation thing. Some of it's done already. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I've still got 21 more TNT. That's the 9 we found in the desert temple in the beginning. And then what I made with the leftover gunpowder. Not bad at all. A lot of fun. We'll definitely do a lot more TNT in the whole excavation process. Okay, this is my last 2 TNT. Hooray! So that was fairly effective overall. We got a pretty good amount excavated in a pretty short amount of time. So we will definitely do that a lot more. I'm going to let this thing run overnight a few times just to gather TNT, or gather gunpowder to make TNT rather. So I'm going to clean up in here a little bit, and then we'll move on to something else. So I'm working on cleaning this room up and leveling out the floor, just getting all these blocks out of the way, and I'm actually really digging the ceiling the way it is. I think I'm going to blast out the rest of this cave and just kind of leave the roof like as it turns out naturally, just from the explosions. I think that's really, it's like a cool natural cave ceiling type look. I might form the edges a little bit, but I think for the most part that's really cool. I'm digging that. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest of this cleaning up off camera at a later time, probably in between filming episodes, because I have good news. I was doing a little caving earlier, and I just heard a ridiculous amount of spiders. The kind of amount of spiders that makes me think that there is a spider spawner very nearby to where that was. So I'm going to go over there and take a poke around, and we'll see what that's all about. Okay, so I'm down in the cave, and I'm hearing the spider sounds from this direction. Turn up my volume here so I can hear them a little better. Sounds like they're over here now. And I'm out of torches, so I'm not going to be able to disable it if I find it. Louder. Louder. Now it's coming from over here. I might have passed it. Oh, yep, there it is. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's a regular spider spawner. I was honestly expecting to find an abandoned mine shaft. But that's cool. You don't see the regular spider spawners super often. Normally you get zombie or skeleton spawners. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to make a trip topside to get some torches so I can turn this off, and then we'll definitely have to build some kind of an XP farm pretty quick here. Very cool. Ow. So I made a little shortcut down to where the spider spawner is. It's actually right underneath our mountain. So we'll be able to incorporate that into the design of the base somewhere, somehow, probably. Don't really know what we'll do. Maybe we'll have some kind of a fountain of spiders, or like a viewing window where you can just watch them fall. It's really hard to get spiders to fall, though. Anyway, I've made a... Oh, hello. No, 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 no. Oh, whatever. Made a little shortcut. Takes us down basically right to it. Ran out of ladders down here, so I kind of had to do a funky little bridge. But yeah, the spider spawner is right in here. Torches? Torches. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. So I'm going to climb my way down in there. Torch, torch, torch. Light this place up. Make sure that no spiders spawn while I'm... There's XP all the way down there at the bottom. What do we got? Cat. And a name tag, that's cool. Now we can finally name that horse. And over here we have more wheat, another name tag, iron, redstone. Fairly typical dungeon chest. I was hoping for horse armor. I think I have gold horse armor on the horse right now. Some diamond horse armor would be super cool. So I'm going to do a little brainstorming and some research on the best way to build an XP farm just for regular spiders. Not for cave spiders. Cave spiders are easy because they're just one block. These ones are going to be a little trickier since they're 2 blocks wide. So I will figure something out. Okay, so I'm here in a creative world, and I think I figured out how I'm going to do it just for now. This is going to be a temporary thing until I do a little bit more involved one with an automatic crusher. I kind of want to wait until I have more of a base laid out so I can figure out how I can incorporate it. So I don't want to do a bunch of work now just to tear it down later. So they're spawning, and they get pushed in the water. It goes up these stairs here and then down to a little collection area, and then we can stand on the other side of this door. Since they're too wide, they can't fit through the door, and we can just kind of hang out here and punch them all down, you know, obviously with a sword or whatever. And so there's not any automatic damaging system in place right now, and there probably won't be for this design. They seem to be getting stuck on this corner, but then usually they get unstuck pretty quickly. Yeah, see, yep, there he goes. And this little 1 block gap here doesn't really seem to matter since the spiders are 2 blocks wide. As long as one part of them is, you know, out of this water, it'll go into this one before the other part of them gets out. So this seems to work fairly well. So this is what we will get set up in the survival world. And it shouldn't be too hard at all, really. Okay, so back in the survival world, I've pretty much got the whole thing set up. I did it a little bit differently. I just made it 8 by 8 instead of 9 by 9 like I had in the survival world, just to make the water sources easier to deal with. So now I just gotta punch off these torches, which means it's gonna get dark. Yeah, which means there's gonna be spiders. So it'll get interesting real quickly here. I think that's all the torches. Get in there. Get in there. So we just gotta close this up, and I'm gonna get rid of these ladders. There's one down there. Whatever. Alright, it's all sealed up. So I made a little entrance to the, not the killing chamber, but the chamber where you stand to do the killing. And that's up here. Get some light. Whoops, that's not a light. That's a light. So it's right down here. As you can see, it rounds up. Oh yeah, hello. Rounds all the spiders right up there. And we collect their drops and their experience. I might throw a hopper right here on the ground just to pick up any drops, like if our inventory is full or something. They're still getting stuck on that corner. I was kind of hoping to get around that by making the room 8 by 8. That's one of the reasons I did it. But it's not a big deal. When there are more spiders, they kind of tend to shove each other and get out of the way. Yeah. Wow, I just spawned 3 of them in there. I'm gonna hide. So it seems to be working pretty well. I might actually need to put a ceiling on it. It seems like a lot of them are just climbing up there. So I'm gonna do a couple more tweaks. Okay, so this is the spawning room now. If I punch a hole, you can see that's where the spawner is. Get rid of that block there. So I added a ceiling. Whoops. I'm just all over it with placing the wrong blocks today. So I added a ceiling so that they can't really climb out. They don't really have anywhere else to go. So let's see if that's helping us any more with them ending up in the right place. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, it seems to be. There's a good number of them right down here. Very cool. Well, that was kind of an unexpected surprise. I was not anticipating getting an XP farm set up in this episode, but this is definitely very cool. I'm very happy that this worked out. So I used the XP farm to get myself up to level 30. And I mean, I was only like 28 or 29, so it's not a huge accomplishment. The farm's not super efficient, but it works. So what I'm thinking is that we can do a little bit of enchanting. Alright, so I got a diamond pick made up. I'm basically just going to be enchanting a bunch of picks. I'm going to need so many work picks. Unbreaking 3. Always a good sign to get unbreaking. Oh. Okay. Only unbreaking. I would have loved efficiency. But it is what it is, I guess. Still got a lot of work to do down here. Alright, next order of business. What shall we do next? I don't really think I have time to start another real huge project or anything, so I thought I might talk to you guys for a minute just about things that I want to do in the future that I don't think I've talked about. I was looking at the mob farm outside. Dun, dun, dun. That thingy right there, I'm sure you're familiar with it. So I was kind of thinking I would I'd tear this down at some point, obviously, but I was thinking I might rebuild it in the mountain, just sort of in the middle of everything, probably. And then lock the door. And then kind of have a room in my head. I'm picturing it looking like the room in the X-Men where Professor Xavier goes to hook into the Cerebro thing. You know, it's like this bridge, and it just overlooks this huge bottomless pit. And then so we'd be on the bridge, and then the mobs would be sorted, and they would just kind of fall out of the ceiling. So we'd have like creepers fall right there, and zombies fall over here, and then skeletons fall over here, and witches fall over here, or something. I don't know. We'll have a mob sorting system. Or, you know, maybe we won't even sort them. Maybe we'll just have a waterfall of all the mixed mobs. And then it'll be like a bridge that will lead to somewhere else, but then you'll have mobs falling, kind of raining down on either side of the bridge. They won't land on the bridge and like attack you or anything. There'll be like a 3-block gap between where the mobs fall on the bridge. But I think that would be kind of cool. Just an interesting little like aesthetic display. Whoops. I do that a lot. I press Q on accident when I mean to press W. I end up throwing a lot of stuff. I've lost picks in lava that way if I'm mining, and then I just like throw it in lava. So that's one thing I'm thinking that I want to do, is have a bridge over a huge bottomless pit that just rains mobs out of the side. And then another idea I've been tossing around has to do with an enchantment room. And instead of just having a room with some bookshelves and an enchantment table and hey, it's an enchantment room, I want to do like a huge. You'll notice that a lot. Everything I want to do in this LP series is going to be huge. But I want to do what I'm calling the redstone library. That's just what I've been referring it to. Wow, I forgot how to use words. That's what I've been referring to it as. That's the words I wanted in my head. I don't really know why. It's not going to be super redstone heavy. I was just messing around in creative, and I designed a thing where you just have your enchanting table there, and then it's surrounded by walls. But when you flip a switch, the walls open up and books come out. Whoops! I knocked a can over. Good thing it's empty. The books come out, they kind of cascade, and then you do your enchantments, and then you hit it again, and the books go back, and the walls come down. And so I basically want to build a huge library. I'm kind of picturing the library from Beauty and the Beast, which is kind of a weird reference to use, but the only big library I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, but just big, tall, maybe like in footprint, maybe half the size of this entrance room. So like from there to there to there, but then like the wall would be here where we're standing. And maybe twice as tall. But it'd have like balconies around the outside with bookshelves. And what I want to do is basically have a chest for each type of enchantment. And they'll be maybe mixed in with the bookshelves or in their own special section. So if there's a specific type of enchantment that I want, say if I make a new diamond helmet and I'm like, okay, I want aqua affinity on this helmet, I can go to the enchantment / redstone library and go to the aqua affinity chest and grab one of the enchantments and then take it to an anvil and put it on there. And we might put in some other little dorky redstone mechanisms like the block changer for the walls and something like that, maybe like an armor stand changer, or yeah, I don't know, something like that. We'll come up with some more stuff. So I want to have mob braining on a bridge. I want to have the ability to leave the base. And I want to do a redstone library, and that's all I can think of for now. I definitely want to have like a grand smelting room, which obviously is going to be comprised of furnaces, but I want to design a machine where I have one chest that functions as an input and one chest that's an output, but it evenly distributes everything I put into the chests among as many furnaces as possible. I know how to do it with 8, but I want to see if I can't figure out a way to get it to distribute it among 64 furnaces, so I can dump in a whole stack of iron ore, for example, and it would give me a whole stack of iron ore back in the time it takes just to smelt one block. You know, give or take the time it takes to move it along in hoppers and yada yada yada. Something like that would be really cool. I don't even know if it's possible. I haven't messed around with any kind of furnace contraptions on that grand of a scale. So that's something I'm going to look into, because I think that would be super cool, and it definitely fits with the kind of dwarven theme that we're going for here. And I just think that would be super cool. So yeah, if you guys have any cool ideas for things that I could build, please do not hesitate to let me know. I am always eager to hear your feedback. And so I think that's going to be about it for me this time around. I apologize, this is a little bit shorter episode than what I've been doing. Like I said at the beginning, holiday season, things are crazy, lots of stuff to do, lots of presents to wrap. I am so bad at wrapping presents. My least favorite thing to do. Well, no, I can think of a couple things that I dislike more than wrapping presents, but you know, you get my point. If you guys like the video, please let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I definitely enjoyed making it. And that's all for me. Have a good day.